Breathing. When the body reacts to a threat, it triggers a range of systems that affect us from our heads to our toes. Once a threat is sensed, there is a biological process that, as we have seen earlier, is primitive and shared with all animals, past and present. Just as the switching on of the reaction is biological, so is the mechanism to switch it off, breathing slowly and deeply. If we are able to slow down our breathing, make our breath slower, and breathe out slightly longer than the in-breath, we switch off the threat response and return our autonomic nervous system to normal functioning. We appreciate that there are times, although breathing slowly and deeply sounds straightforward, it is extremely hard to do. However, being aware that this is where the off switch to our anxiety is, and practicing long enough to realize that really works, means that we can begin to have some control over feelings which are frightening and uncomfortable. Please take a couple of minutes now to think about your breathing. First, just do that. Think about how your breath is now. Be aware of the in-breath and the out-breath, and spend a little time noticing your breathing. When you are ready, see if you can make your breaths a little slower and a little deeper. Perhaps count as you breathe in and fill your lungs. Do the same for your out-breath. Try and make your out-breath slightly longer than the in-breath. Doing this for 30 seconds or more switches off the body's threat responses. Of course, depending on what is happening or what you are thinking about, it could be re-triggered at any time, as we need to be able to respond to threats at any time. However, knowing where the off switch is and having experience of using it can be very reassuring.
Noticing. As we mentioned earlier, we are able to trigger our body's threat responses with our thoughts. When we are thinking ahead to something that we think is going to happen, we can visualize it, and our brains react as if it was happening now. The same is true when we remember events from the past. The part of our brain that controls this reaction is located in the area of the brain that goes back all those millions of years to the dinosaurs. Noticing what is happening around us can switch off the threat response. A simple exercise we can do now is noticing the things around you. And this is easily remembered as the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 exercise. So please could you do the following? Please just notice 5 things around you that you can see. Please notice 4 things that you can hear. Please now notice 3 things that you can physically feel. Please notice 2 things that you can smell. And finally, 1 thing that you can taste. It is not possible to do these things and think about the past or the future at the same time. Therefore, if you are able to notice what is happening in the here and now, you bring yourself back to the present where, unless there is a direct threat, you are safe.